So in this magazine mood board, Holly has discussed her ideas, and I genuinely think this is a really clever way of showing all of them in one. So you can clearly see that she wants to include social media here, she likes shopping, cars, again more technology, she likes the close-up of faces and touching the face, which we've seen in her actual draft one. I think it actually shows a fair representation of all of these different aspects because she's not just favouring one thing. This video here shows that she's clearly thought about it and that she hasn't just used the first name which comes to mind. I also like that she's created a mind map here and thought about other different impacts, not just the title. She's been thinking about what it wants to do. Yeah. Again, I know that we've already talked about this, but I think that she could have done something a bit more interesting. Like, she's done a video here. I'm not sure that's very... I think she could have been a bit more adventurous. But, on the other hand, it's very clear and makes it very obvious which one she's talking about and which one she's going to be doing, which I think is a good idea. So, in this, as you can see, there's two bubbles. This one on the left, again, is loads of images, and she's talking, they're professional people, so like Beyonce and things like that. And she's talking about getting inspiration from those photos, their positions, the lighting, and all of this, which I think is really key for getting different angles and shots. And then this bubble is just literally describing that. This is a little bit creepy, if I'm honest. Like, his eyes move where the mouse goes and, oh god. But it's quite different. It's not like a video or anything like that. And she clearly expresses her opinions and explains why black and white go together and then purple means a completely different thing. I think it actually works quite well, although I don't like this. Anyway. So the cover lines we've already discussed because it's all of these. We've also discussed the contents page ideas as well as the main article draft. This box out text. This is the first video with music, and I think it's really good that she's tried something new, but I think the music's a bit too loud compared to her voice because it's quite difficult to hear what she's saying. So I think this is when this information down here becomes really useful. I thought this was really sweet because she's made it as a prezi, but all of her objects link to her theme of like black, white, purple, quite funky, punky. I think that's why she's chosen some of those. When she talks about costumes, looking at them closely, they're quite casual clothing. Like here she's just wearing shorts and a top. But all the others, like, they're focusing on the makeup really, I think, in my opinion, and like their expression and how they are. So I think that that's a key thing to think about as well. Like there. Anyway. The promotional methods. This is quite a clever little video as it explains how she's going to refer back to this video and use it and make sure that she includes everything. If that's freebies on social media or giveaways, I think that's really important, bearing in mind that we're in the 21st century now. This social media one, it's a black screen throughout, which I find a little bit odd if I'm honest, but we'll go with it. Yeah, so she talks about using websites, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for readers to get involved, and she's on the pages. There is this section where there is a hashtag influential artist vote, which I think is interesting because it will get people involved. Although if you don't get enough people involved, then you're going to have a dilemma, but I'm sure she didn't. I think it's quite interesting, that idea. Now, on the equipment, she literally just uses this camera here, which is a Canon 500D. And she knows quite a lot of detail about it, which is really, really good and important, I think, to know what you're on about and know details, really. And she also talks about this little lens and how it's one for portraiture, which, as you can tell from some of her inspirational pictures, that they're all focusing on portraiture, which is in hers. It's a cute little consent form. It just shows a little bit more information about them, and that it is legal. This time lapse is really clever. I loved it so much. So it shows authenticity, and it's also really inventive. I want to do this because it shows how much time and effort has gone into actually making it. I think that the music as well, if I play a bit. Are there some aces up your sleeve? Have you no idea? I think that music could relate to her theme of like a funky, punky rock one. So I think that's quite clever. Just because it just works, really. Especially with this purple background. It does really give off that vibe. Now these are her contact sheets of all those photo shoots, which is just plenty. There's loads of them, which is really, really good. Loads and loads and loads. And then here, I've already talked about it briefly, but here are her chosen images. I think it's nice that she's got these Instagram ones, but I'm not sure they're as good as these, because these are professionally taken, especially this one. Love that one. But I think she could have used with doing a few more models, because it's really good, but a little bit shaking it up, because she's got 2 boys here and 1 girl here, but that's pretty much the only difference. This production log here just shows her development of ideas and how far she's actually come. This feedback group we've already talked about. Overall, I think you can really tell that there is definitely 2 years worth full of stuff there, and she's clearly put a lot of time and effort into all of it.